Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the next video. So in this video we are going to discuss about an off-campus coding question which is asked in Amdocs. So basically if you are preparing for any off-campus assessment, then you should watch this video completely guys. And also I have done a lot of videos on off-campus coding questions. So if you have not seen those, then you can definitely check out the playlist. You will get some quality videos which are something like this, like Hacker Earth and Hacker Rank questions and Higher Pro. So Meti is there, and after that a lot of coding questions are, the platforms which will offer coding questions. So the time for this one is basically 48 minutes guys, and there were another one question, I think. Yes, so there is another one question, and this is conducted by Higher Pro. And if you have written previously any assessment, then you know how the Higher Pro how they create the question. They are basically unique and they will be having a lot of parts. So the same thing was there in this question as well. So the question was pretty much tricky. So you just need to understand it thoroughly and you have to write the code. So let me just watch the question. Just read the question once, and after that we'll proceed to the answer. So the question says that consider a square matrix A of size n cross n and an integer x which is element of A. Find the row number R and column number C of X in A and calculate the sum of R and C. If the sum is even, find the sum of the digits of all even numbers in the matrix, and if the sum is odd, then find the sum of digits of all odd numbers in the matrix. So the question is pretty much simple guys, if you just take a close look at that one. So don't just go by these words. Okay, so they'll be confusing sometimes. So what they are saying is basically there is one matrix whose name is A and it is having the size of n cross n. After that there is one element x which is there in that matrix A. So you just need to find out what is the row and column number of that particular x where it is lying in that matrix A. So after that, if you just add those things like column number and row number, if this happens to be a even number, then find out the sum of digits of all the numbers. So that means if 22 and 44 are the members of this basically the array, then you need to find out 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4. That means the sum of the digits, not sum of the numbers, sum of the digits of the numbers. Fine, so that is very important. And after that you need to return. If it is even, then you will find sum of the digits of even numbers. If it is odd, then you will find sum of the digits of odd numbers. So that's what about the question, what they are actually saying. Fine, so once you understood the question guys, now it's time to write the answer for this one. So how you can just do the answer, or how you can create the answer, let me just show you. Okay, fine. So now here you can see constraints they have given. N is between 1 and 35, all those things. Input formats. The first line of input contains n, that is the length, how many rows and how many columns, that will tell. The next n lines of the input contains n integers, each separated by single white space. So basically n integers will be there in particular row. And the last line of input contains x, that I can call it as key as well. So basically I need to match for that element. So after that the output should contain an S, which is basically that is basically whether how many even and how many odd, the sum of the odd and sum of the even digits in that. Okay, so sample input, you can see there are 3 rows and 3 columns. So these are the 3 rows. 11, 22 and 33 is the first row. 44, 55 and 66 is the second row. 77, 88 and 99 is the third row. After that it is also same with the columns because it's a 3 cross 3. Now the key or the x value they have given is 55. So you can see here guys, 55 is present at first in the sense the second row and second column, right? So the numbering starts with 1. Okay, so that's why the sample output is 40. How it is 40? Here it is given. So 11, 22, the same matrix here, x is equal to 55 presents at the second row and second column. That means row value will be equal to 2, column value will be equal to 2. So if I add row and column, it is 4, and I know that 4 is an even number. So if this happens to be an even number, then I need to find out the sum of digits of all even numbers. So that's why 22 is even number. In this, I need to scan whole array or the whole matrix, and I need to find out the sum of digits of all even numbers. So 2 plus 2, and after that next even number is 44. 4 plus 4 I will add then 66 is there, then 88 is there. Rest of the elements are odd, so I will not consider. So if I add them together, it will be around 40 or exactly 40, right? So this is about the first test case. Now in the sense, same thing, we'll be having a lot of test cases. They'll give a lot of test cases, guys. So given a matrix 11, 23, then output is 40, the same thing. So after that, the next thing is like you can see 4 rows, 5, 4, 4, 54, 55, 521, 13, 78, 326, 104, 894, and this is the big number 174, 87, 845. Okay, so 104 is the key. So you can see it is present over here, and it is output is giving as 2. So like this, you can see here the output is 104, and yes, so the output is 122. Basically, this is how you should proceed. Now the question is basically we are having to cross two array, that means we have to use a double notation to represent it in the form of arrays, right? So those kind of things I have to do. Okay guys, so now let me just go to the Eclipse and start writing the code for this thing. Okay, so this is pretty much simple guys, nothing to worry, right? So you just need to write it in a proper way. Okay, so let me just first write int n equal to 3, that means number of elements. Okay, fine. After that I need to take one two-dimensional array. So int and array 1 I will write, and here I will be having how many? 3 rows and 3 columns. I will create 3 blank rows here. So these are the 3 blank rows. I have created the structure. Now let me just go over here and to the first test case I will go, guys. Yes, it was somewhere here. So I will just execute this one itself. So the first row contains 11, 22 and 33. So the first row contains 11, 22, 33. I'm done with the first row. Now second row 44, 55, 66. 44, 55, 66. This is the second row. Now third row 77, 88 and 99. So it's 77, 88 and 99. So this is the two-dimensional matrix I have taken in the form of two-dimensional array. Okay guys, fine. So now I will go to the next thing. I will take it as key. Whatever x they have given, it is 55. So instead of x, I will take it as key. So it is 55. I will assign directly. So int key is equal to 55. Done. Now I will take two variables like r is equal to 0. That means row value. After that, this one, that is c is equal to 0. That means column value. And also I will take another thing like int let us say s is equal to 0. That is the final output I will be storing in this thing. Okay, so fine guys, I have taken all the variables. Now I will use one for loop. Okay, so for int I equal to 0, I should be less than array1 dot length, and I will write I plus plus. Fine. So once I have written like this, I will write another for loop. Basically, you know that why I am writing. It's an array, so array inside array. That means I have to use two for loops. And int j is equal to 0 and j should be less than array1 of I dot length. This is very important. So if it happens to be a jagged array, at that moment if you write fixed length, it will not work. So that's why I will write like this. Here what it will doing, basically this is to iterate through the rows. First row, zeroth row, first row and second row. And this is to iterate through the elements of this row, that means column values. So inside this first row there are 3 elements. So j will be starting with this 0, that means it is currently pointing to 11. If it increases, then it will point to 22, then it will point to 33. It will break, and again outer element will go to this thing, that it will start pointing to the first row, and again j will start from 0, it will point to 44, then 55, then 66. So here we need to write like whatever the length is there, up to that we have to iterate. So that's why I am writing this in particular array1 of I, that means array1 of whatever row is there, up to its length you have to iterate. Fine. So this is very important guys, please do write it carefully. So once you have written like this, the next thing is basically I will check if array1 of I and j is particularly equal to key, that means it is present in it. If it is present, then what I will write, r is equal to I plus 1. Why I am writing I plus 1 is basically in real matrix the rows and columns will be starting from 1 and 2 and 3. I mean 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. But here in Java, as we know that in array the index is starting from 0. That means I am writing one value less than that of the actual value. So that's why whenever I am writing the row, I need to write one value which is, I mean one, I need to add 1. So that's what I am writing, j plus 1 and I plus 1. Fine. So once you are done with this guys, now let me just come out of this for loop. Yes, so this is for the case when it is even. Fine. So when it is even, it will enter this one. So basically it will basically find out whether at what position that particular element is present. Now the actual logic starts. Okay, so for int I is equal to 0, okay, I should be less than array 1 dot length, the same loop I am writing, and I plus plus. Okay, again the same second for loop, also same for int j is equal to 0 and j should be less than array 1 of I dot length and j plus plus. Fine, so this thing I have written. Now let me just scroll it up guys. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Now using if condition, what I will write is if array 1 of I comma j modulus 2, that means whatever the element is there, if it is equal to 0, that means it's an even element. And also I will check another thing like r plus c, that is whatever the row number and the column number, if its addition modulus 2 is equal to 0, that means it's a even number. If it is even, then I need to return the sum of even elements. So for that I will use one variable int ram equal to 0, and to find out the sum of digits I will be using this logic. Basically while array 1 let me just like array 1 of I, sorry, array 1 of I comma j is until and unless not equal to 0, I have to repeat this while loop. Fine. So I will write reminder equal to array 1 of I and j. Okay, so modulus 10. So whatever it will be giving, it will be stored in the reminder. So I have to change this. So array 1 of I comma j will be equal to array 1 of I j divided by 10. Fine. So after that I will be writing yes equal to and yes plus whatever reminder I will be getting, that I will be storing in this. Okay, so this is about the first half. Now coming to the second half, it is pretty much similar to the first half itself. Fine, so what I will be doing is basically this is for if and it is ending over here. Fine, so if it is ending over here, then I will be having something like this. If it is not satisfying, if this condition goes false, then it has to enter the else. So here I will write else if, and the condition will be the similar thing. So I will just copy, just I need to make some changes over here. Okay, so this is exactly equal to 0. Instead of exactly equal to 0, I have to use not equal to 0. So I will remove an equal to and I will insert one not equal. Here also I will insert one not equal, and now I will open close the brackets. Okay, fine. So now you can see. Okay, fine. I think I have given one extra brace over here. Okay, so let me just remove this thing guys, it is creating a problem. Okay, now it's good. Okay, so when this thing happens, again I need to do the same thing. So let me just copy this thing and yes, paste it over here and take this while loop, control C, control V, and instead of not equal to 0, okay, so not equal to 0 will be fine. Okay, everything will remain fine guys. So basically just need to change there itself. Fine. Alright. So the next thing will be to end this loop, so where it is ending exactly here. So this is the main class and this is public static void main. here it is ending, and after this I will write sys out system.out.println s I will print here. So let me just run this thing. Okay, so you are getting the proper output, guys, and you can see 40 is the output, and yes, it is exactly matching the output over here. So yes, this is how you can write, right? So this is it, guys. Okay, so I hope you understood. So let me just wrap it up with one quick explanation. So those who have not understood this one. So basically, for first thing is number of rows and number of columns. This is 2 cross 2 matrix. Then key element 55, row I have initialized to 0, column initialized to 0, and int s, that means whatever the output I am getting, that I will be storing in s. So that's why I am initializing to 0 as well. So what I will do with the help of this for loop, what I am basically doing is I am finding out the position of the key element inside that matrix, and I am noting down those things in the R and C. R stands for row and C stands for column here. So row value and column value. Fine. So what I said is basically I will write here. So to iterate through the elements of that 2 cross 2 matrix, I will be writing 2 for loops. Okay. So after that, if the array 1 of I, that means if this thing, whatever the element is there, modulus 2 equal to 0, that means if it is E1, and also if the R plus C modulus 2 is equal to 0, that means R plus C is also E1. If both the conditions are satisfied, that means I need to return the sum of the digits of even numbers. So to find out the sum of digits, I have to use this thing. So basically, int remainder equal to 0 is the local variable inside this body, and while the element is not equal to 0, I need to find out the remainder, because whenever I divide a particular number by 10, the last digit I will be getting. For example, let me just write one thing. Okay, so over here I will write, guys. Just take a look. Just to make you understand, I'm writing. Okay, so if it is 20, let us say 22 is there. If I divide it by 10, what I will be getting? 10 ones are 10 twos are 20, it will go, and the remainder is 2. And again take this 2, divide it by 10. So you can see over here the divisor is already a small number, so this will be my remainder itself. So surprisingly, if you see, this is the one of the digits and this is also one of the digits. Basically, this is the last digit, this is the first digit. So like this it will give, for example, 132 is there. To get more clarity, just see this one. So 10 is there. So how much it will go? 10 tens are 100, and okay, so 10 13s are 130, it will go. So I will write 130 and 2 will be the remainder. So now again take this 3, whatever 3 is there, just take it and again divide it by 10. So how much it will go? 10 ones are 10, it will go, and remainder will be 0. So this is the next element. Just take a look at this. So this is the last element. Here it is. And this is the last second element. Here it is. And again I will take 1 and try to divide with 10. So as this is the smaller than 10, then I will be returning directly it as a remainder. So this is the first, what I can say, it's a digit. Fine. So the same thing is working for this thing as well. So the same thing, remainder, just find out the remainder, then update it, then whatever remainder you have got, just add it to the sum. So the same thing I have done. This is for even case, guys, right? So if it is even, then it will perform this one. If R plus C is equal to, if it is odd, then it will go over here. So all the odd elements it will take and find out the sum and return to it in the sum. Either they will be even, either or else they will be odd. So they cannot, like, they will be having both the properties, right? So that's why one of these loops will execute for a particular element. So like this we will be getting at the end the output whichever is required for us. And yes, let me just go for another test cases as well. What is this? Okay, 454, where I have to change is basically here. 454 comma 55 521 55 521. Basically I'll pause the video and I'll fill up these things, guys. Alright guys, so I have filled all the elements and yes, it is recording, so you can just take a look. So the first row is 454, 55, 521, 14. So the same thing, 454, 55, 521 and 14. Second one is 78, 326, 104, 989. So 78, 326, 104, 989. Third one is 23447, 174, 87, 845. So you can see 23447, 174, 87 and 845. Last row says that 25, 81, 53 and 11. So the same thing is there. After that, key value is changed. It is 104 now. So I will change the key value. So let me just save this one, Control S, and run this thing. Here you can see the output is 122 and you can cross check. Here also the output is 122. So like this, it's a dynamic program, guys. Whatever you can give, you will calculate accurately and it will give you the result. So all test cases will be passed for this thing. So like this, you can solve any kind of questions which are related to array, strings or anything like. You just need to use some proper logic, guys, and this is not the only way. You can have multiple ways for writing this program. Even optimized ways will be there with the help of collections, but yes, I just don't wanted to make the things complicated for few people, so that's why I'm not written with the help of collections. I could have used with the array list. After that, I could have used with the map as well, so that is possible. But yes, this is also one of the ways, guys, and it is also an efficient way. You can go with this as well. So that's what I just wanted to discuss in this video, guys. So see you in the next one with an interesting problem, something like this. So if you have not still liked the video, please do like, and if you have not still kill that subscribe button, please guys do kill that one right now. So thank you, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye, have a nice day.